Hello, this is Gary Crowley with DoItYourselfJointPainRelief.com, and this is a dog joint pain relief introductory video. These are my two standard rat terriers, Dixie and Daisy. Dixie doesn't like the camera much, so we don't know how much we'll use her. But basically, this is introductory video, and then there's going to be separate videos for hip pain and spine pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, and leg pain. Maybe paw pain. And I just want to do this intro to give you guys who aren't, who don't work with bodies and tissue for a living, a little extra attention on how you're going to work with tissue. So basically, if you stand your dog up on its hind legs, their anatomy is actually very similar, obviously different, but very similar to human beings. We have hips and arms and legs and shoulder blades and vertebra, and 95% of all chronic structural pain is due to the shortening and tightening of tissue around joints. So most of the time when your dog's hips are bothering them, or their neck, or their spine, or their shoulder, they have tight tissue that is compressing the joint and making it hurt. Now, especially in some breeds, when they have hip dysplasia and things like that, you're not going to be able to permanently fix an old German Shepherd with really bad hips, but you can give them relief. And I've worked on a lot of dogs over the years, and even when they're old and they're in pain, you can give them some good relief just by freeing the tissue in their bodies. So what I want you to do first, I know there's some other videos out there where people show you how to work on dogs, but if you're not a body worker, a lot of times you don't know how to work with tissue. So what I want to show you here, and these guys can do whatever they want, I want to show you how to actually work on your dog's tissue. So if you take your own thumb and you press it into, say, your forearm, the big secret in life, in our bodies or in a dog's body, is that healthy tissue does not hurt when you press on it. Unhealthy tissue is painful and tender when you press on it. So if you press into your own forearm, if you're on a computer a lot, this might all be tender and painful when you press on it. But there's probably some spots, like if I go deeper in me, there's a tender spot right there. And you can start to feel how the healthy tissue, if you press even on other areas of your arm or even in your bicep, healthy tissue is soft and supple and has a lot of give. And so that spot's pretty, healthy on me. And then I get over here, because I use these muscles a lot and with what I do, and there's some tight tissue. And that's a little more ropey, a little more, doesn't have as much give. It just doesn't feel as healthy. And so what I'm going to have you do on your dog is, what I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to massage your dog or pet your dog, because that's not going to help the tissue release. What I want you to do is what I call a press-pull-release technique. And on my techniques page of this website, I show you how to do this on yourself. I just want to do it for all you dog people showing up here. I'm going to show you in this introductory video. What you want to do is when you press around your dog and you feel some tissue that's tight in their hips or their shoulder or whatever, and what I'm going to have you do is press on one spot into the tissue that's tight, as deeply as your dog can relax into comfortably. You don't want to hurt him. But if you press in there and then you pull, and then you release, and you press and you pull and you release, and you press and you pull and you release, and you can do it with your fingertips, press, pull, release, press, pull, release. You see I'm on that same piece of skin. I'm not sliding across the skin. So what that does is it allows my cerebellum in my brain and in your dog's brain to really get the message by pressing on all these little springs in the muscle tissue and soft tissue. When you do this, you're pressing on all these sensors that tell your brain and your dog's brain to release that tissue. So we're not going to go across the tissue. That feels good for the dog, but it's not going to help release their tissue. What we're going to do is we're going to find some tender tissue. We're going to press on it, pull and release, press on it, pull and release, press on it, pull and release. And if you do that over and over in all these different spots that we're going to work on, the tissue will let go, and then those joints that are, compressed will get a little more room, and then that joint can move and your dog won't be in as much pain. Now again, certain permanent things, like if the hips have gone and there's no cartilage left, you're probably going to have to do this every day or every few days if you have an old dog with hip dysplasia. but even my old rat terriers before these, he had a bad spine. And so I'd work on his spine and his mid-back, every day, every other day, and he'd be pretty good for about a day, and he'd be out of pain, and he'd be feeling good. And then I just had to be on top of it because he was 14 or 15, and he just needed that much more attention. So, come here, Daisy. Hup, hup. No, you gonna sit? Okay. So we're gonna pick Daisy up, and Daisy gets a little grumpy sometimes because she just turned 11. But I just want to show you that if you were to feel around your dog's tissue, especially if they just relax a little bit, you can feel she's just being grumpy. This, relax. And now if you have a nice happy golden retriever or a happy lab that just lays there and lets you do whatever you want, that's great. But a lot of us have terriers and other dogs that maybe are a little less, a little more feisty. So I think it's good that you actually get to see how to work with a dog that's a little less cooperative, because sometimes you just have to go with it a little bit, and you feel it. Sometimes they don't even know. Sometimes they just feel like you're petting them, but you can investigate, and depending on where you're looking, if you're going for these hips, you can investigate for some tight tissue in the hips. If you want to see how they're, if they seem to be in pain around their neck, you can investigate for pain around here. And you're just going to feel, and when you find a spot, and in each video I'm going to show you in greater detail, you're just going to do press, pull, release, press, pull, release, press, pull, release, and it will let go. And again, Daisy's kind of feisty. She gets grumpy, and so I just gotta go with her a little bit because she's a feisty rat terrier, and that's just how they are sometimes, right, Daisy? Especially since she just turned 11. So, so in the subsequent videos, we're basically going to do, if it's a shoulder issue, I'm going to show you how to release the shoulder. If it's a neck issue, I'm going to show you how to release the neck, hips, legs, all these other things. But I just want, mostly for this video, I want you to understand that you're not going to be rubbing across your dog's fur or skin. You're going to be grabbing a layer like it's clay and pulling on it, and grabbing a layer and pulling on it, and grabbing a layer and pulling on it. So that's the introductory video. Feel free to go to the techniques page of my techniques for human beings, where I basically show you the same thing I just showed you in the video. But you're just digging in and stretching it like it's saran wrap, that tissue under the skin that's tight. So that's the introductory video, and I will see you at either hips, spine, neck, shoulders, legs, or paw page, and where I'll specifically get into each joint and show you how to work on it and hopefully help your dog. So thank you for your time, and I hope this proves helpful. Bye-bye.